everyone, welcome to the daily life of a full-time cabinet maker. I'm Richard, and today I'm going to share with you an office build.
Mulder was at the neighbor's house.
He's always visiting the next door neighbor. You have anything else to add, Kristen?
Let's get to work.
All right, let's go. Today we're going to finish the office build. You've already seen the office desk come together. Now I'm going to show this built-in you see behind me coming together. I'm going to be finishing that up. I'm also going to be talking throughout the video a little bit about my history. Also, I'm going to issue a challenge to the audience, a couple neat ideas I have that I'm going to bounce off of all of you. And also there will be a special surprise guest. Stick around and enjoy the ride.
Hey Richard, sending you a video message because I hate typing. So I originally found your work on my Explore page and I saw the Walnut Cabinetry and like honed right in on that. Those are two of my favorite things. But I also noticed like on your face frames and stuff, I saw some wood filler for the nail holes and stuff, and I was curious if you've ever heard of or used a Lamello Zeta P2 for attaching face frames. If you're not familiar with it, I am a dealer and I actually have a demo unit that I send out to people to try to see if they like it, if it's something they would want to use in their shop. And since you obviously do a ton of cabinetry with face frames, I'm not sure how many installs you do, but it's very helpful with scribing and things like that. So if you're interested, I have a demo unit coming back within the next week or two, and I can send it out to you with some connectors to try out.
Keith Johnson, he has a fantastic YouTube channel, very talented woodworker. He reached out to me on Instagram because he thought he saw room for improvement, a better way of doing things. And me, having been brought up in a sort of mass production manufacturing setting, the idea is build cabinets as fast as you can and get them out. So we were trained to use brad nailers on all the face frames, and it works. You brad nail the face frames on, you clamp them, you putty the nail holes. I still think it works great for paint grade. In fact, I'll probably still keep doing that for paint grade, but I do think there's room for improvement on stain grade and especially clear cabinets where you're seeing everything. I think that is a good idea to use something like the Lamello. So Keith did send me a demo. I enjoyed it. It was very fun, enlightening. On this channel, I'm just sharing my journey. So I'm going to show the flaws. I'm going to show where I have room for improvement. I'm going to show my strengths and my weaknesses. Part of the fun is growth, development, learning, getting better, and then you and I together can see where this takes us. Who knows what I'll end up building in the future. You're along for the ride, I'm along for the ride. I don't know where this is going any more than you do. Let's just ride the wave, okay? And let's get this Lamello, and as soon as I get it, you better believe there's going to be an extensive video about my journey in learning it. I used it once before, very briefly. I was very limited for time. It was during the shop move. It was a very hectic time for me. Now I'm in a better place. I feel like I can wake up in the morning and enjoy the work again. Sometimes when you're challenging yourself, pushing the limits of what's possible in your life, taking on more than you really should, biting off more than you can chew, I've done it all. So during those times, you do feel like you're living in a constant panic attack. You don't think clearly, you are sleep deprived, you feel like a different person. I'm sure many of you out there have been through that. Everyone has challenging times in life, but I do believe in pushing yourself and testing the boundaries and the limits of what you're able to do and what you're able to handle. So now that in another element of my life I've pushed myself, now it's time to push myself in my craft, in my trade, and learn how to be better. Because I do believe I've not reached my potential in this. I believe I can be better. And I believe that in sharing this, I will then be able to learn from others, just as Keith did, and show, oh, here's where you can improve. Here's what you can do better in this area. And before you know it, you've accumulated all these new skills. I don't even know what I'm trying to say anymore. I'm just saying a lot of things. I hope some of it makes sense. All right, well, let's get this finished because it's getting late and my wife is waiting for me at home. So I don't even know what I'm doing here still. I just want to add at least one element in each video that makes all the woodworking purists out there cringe. I have these wood stain pens. This is for dark woods, so walnut. Sometimes the putty will match just fine with the wood. That looks good, but you get up close and you can see it. Dab it like that. Just one little dab, and then you take a piece of sandpaper and you'll find it does darken it up quite a bit to where it does blend in more. Still gonna be seen if you really are looking for it. It's not like they stand out that much, but seeing that is considered acceptable. But that being said, I do desire to improve to the next level. So maybe one day I will merge cabinetry with true furniture. But as you see here, that looks good. So you do that everywhere and then you're golden. But then I start thinking, well, with all that work, why not just use the lamello, which is going to be, yes, slower than brad nailing and clamping because I have to route out all those little groove holes like a biscuit joiner. Little dab there, dab there. The more you do that, there you go. It doesn't stand out anymore. That does look good, but you want to try something better. Side tangent, more of a side tangent off of a side tangent. For those who think now that I'm going to attempt to use a better process, does that mean this cabinet is any less? The answer is no. This also has the old way, and no one noticed any nail holes. We've now sanded the upper portion of this cabinet. There's the other one there. I couldn't fit them all three simultaneously. I first sistered these two together. That's what it's called, sistering the cabinets together. Sistering is where you rip the style for each upper out of the same piece so that the grain matches. So when they're screwed together, it will look like one piece. See that right there? They're just clamped right now, so they're not tight in every area. But once this is screwed together, as you see, it will come, look at that. See, that's the whole idea. You want it to look like it's just one piece of wood there, but it's not. So now that these are all sanded, I first sistered them together. I sanded them with 150 grit with the orbital sander, sanded it with 220. Now it's time to focus on the lower section as we continue to wrap up this office. For the wood top, I'm pocket screwing 3 pieces of plywood together. The 2 sides will not be seen because they will be covered by an upper cabinet. Only the middle is going to be seen, which is this right here. Tight Bond original wood glue. Just filled up the bottle. Now I'm going to use the Festool Domino to attach the nosing. And this time, I'm going to be using the vacuum, which was suggested by many people in the last video when I used it. Everyone assured me that this is the way to do it for a better result. Now I'm going to miter the ends of these so it can wrap around the face of this wood top. Mulder, what do you think? Time to miter. All right, so it'll come to this corner first, and then the piece that's going to come here will also be mitered in. This one be mitered on the inside here. All right, I have all the holes drawn. I'm getting near to finishing this glue up and getting all these clamps on. As I'm wrapping this up, I just want to take a moment to thank everyone who's been watching these videos. I've been getting more views than I was expecting. Seems like there's some interest out there, so I figure I'll talk a little bit about the direction of the channel and what this is as it's sort of taking shape in real time, and I'm figuring out what it is. But I just like the idea of sharing a journey of development and growth, because I would like to have this be a journey of improvement. I feel like I'm in a place where I can start pushing to learn new things and kind of broaden my repertoire. It's strange to me to be sharing these experiences with so many people, but I have been enjoying it. I'm gonna let that glue up in solitude so it can think about its new life as part of this piece. And while that's drying, I'm gonna start putting all the hinge blocks and hinges and hardware on this lower cabinet to prepare it for the doors. What do you think, Mulder? Just to make things a little bit more interesting, I have a couple things I would like to say to you all who are watching. In addition to that, I appreciate all the support. Since coming back, I've made 6 videos now. I had posted a couple years ago, just kind of a trial run. And then I had a lot of things come up in my life, including learning how to own and run a business and moving to a new shop location and just all the work that comes with that. It really wasn't time to do YouTube on a consistent basis. It took probably a year and a half off after I had made just a couple videos. But over time, they seemed to accumulate views, so I thought, okay, there's an interest out there. Hey, Mulder, thanks for joining us. I figured now that I'm set up here in my new space, it's time to start making consistent videos, and I've made 6 now, and they've been received well, I think. Wasn't sure what to expect, but people are watching them, so I'm just gonna keep posting them. And I figured all this to say, I've been thinking about ways I can make this all more interesting, because I don't want it to become a boring channel or a repetitive channel or a dead feeling channel. And I don't think I'm nearly as good as so many people out there at making videos. So I think, what can I do to make this a more interesting experience? And what I'm thinking is this. It's always going to be evolving, but for the time being, I had this thought that I am new in this space, and you're all joining me at very much the beginning of this. So I consider all who subscribe to this channel to be very much a part of this shop. This is all your shop too. If you subscribe to this channel, I would very much like to hear what people think as far as suggestions for business operations, suggestions for building techniques. If you see an area where I could improve or do something better, I would like to hear it. I want to hear what's a better way, because I just want to start out clean slate and just say, I know nothing, which really is not that much of a stretch. How can you contribute as you see me doing what I'm doing, as I'm sharing my successes and failures and my building techniques? If you think there's a better way, that's why I wanted to add that bit with Keith Johnson, because it's a good example of where he saw a place that could be improved and I acted on it. And so now I challenge you all out there all you other very talented woodworkers to share another area where I could improve, because my plan over this next year is just to get better and better. And I really think that I have not come anywhere near to reaching my full potential. I think I can do a lot better. I think there's times where I have gone into autopilot mode and, do just enough to get a job done and get by and pay the bills. But I do think I have not reached my potential as a creator, as an artist, as a maker of fine woodworking. I think I can learn and become better, and I would just want to share that learning journey on this channel, because otherwise what are we doing here? I don't want to show the same thing over and over again. So all you talented people out there, come join us, because we need your inputs. We need suggestions here. I have a 5,000 square foot shop space. There's just limitless possibilities here. I think it's actually a neat idea. It's all new. As I'm able, if you see a tool I could benefit from as I can afford it, I will buy it and I will try it and I will implement it into the business. Also with building techniques, if I think it can be done, I will for sure try it in a build, in a video, and then I'll decide if it can be implemented, if it makes business sense. Sometimes that's where it becomes a little trickier. The top is out of clamps, ready to be sanded. I'm gonna put a 1/4-inch round over on the top and the bottom to match what we did on the desk, because these go together in the same office. As you see, the doors match. CabinetWiseShop.com for anyone who's local to the San Francisco Bay Area. Also, if anyone wants to see more of our work, we're on Instagram, cabinet_wise. I've never brought that up before in a video. I have it usually in the description. I would like to eventually be able to ship cabinets, but on that note, if you are local to the San Francisco Bay Area, that's where we're located. We're currently doing local custom work. Definitely happy to take on new projects if you have a need. I do believe in waiting for the right time in everything. Timing really is very important. You don't want to force things, but everything in its due time. Now is the time for me to make these videos. I always had a desire to do that, but it was not the right time. And now it is. At least I think it is. That's part of the fun. But I do believe in trusting your gut. I think I was saying that earlier. I got sidetracked by my own thoughts. And that's why we all should strive for wisdom. I do want to live up to my business name, Cabinet Wise, searching for wisdom through woodworking. But I want to live up to that name. And whenever I mess up, I call myself Cabinet Unwise. I definitely want to be the former and not the latter. That's how you can know your gut feeling is reliable. And there's some people who I would say don't trust your gut because their gut is very off. But that's just because they have not pursued wisdom. The pursuit of wisdom is the beginning of all knowledge. It's not about me, it's about the work. The work will shine if it's done well, which is the hope. And that hope brings me full circle, perfectly packaged in this monologue. But that hope is that I will grow on this channel, that you will see me. Those who subscribe and watch these videos are going to see growth, and they're going to see improvements in the work. I just hope it will be more and more interesting to watch. And then you can see the excitement in me, because I am very much excited by the whole thing when I see a project come together, and especially when I learn a new thing. I'd love to share that excitement. There we go, just a little adjustment here. I feel like once again I'm sort of rambling. Kind of did that in the last video. It does help me pass the time. By sharing these thoughts, it helps me to know if I've just gone totally mad or if any of these things make any sense at all, because then I can get feedback. And feedback is really crucial, I think, for improvement. I'm not someone who's easily offended, so don't be afraid of offending me. You saw my wife in the beginning of the video. She is definitely off limits as far as critiquing her, but yeah, feel free to critique me all you want. That's what I'm here for, to be your punching bag. I've found it's best to hear those criticisms because that's how you get better. You know, to me, the end result is getting better. It's not about me, it's about the work and how can I do the work better? How can I accomplish something better? How can I get to the end goal better and quicker? That's the goal here. It's not about what my feelings are. My feelings are irrelevant. I've always thought that way. Molder's very excited. They've been sanded to fit perfectly, as I've shown before. I like to sand the doors to fit. Just shave them a little bit after they've been made oversized. Look at that up close. All the doors sanded to fit and looking good. Another day, another piece coming together. 1/4 inch round over top and bottom to match the desk. The Walnut office is complete. The desk and the built-in.